What's up, Internet? This is Vinny. So what I'm going to be doing this fine evening is I'm going to be installing Windows 8 Pro on an HP Pavilion DV4. That's older hardware, 64-bit compatible. I think it's an Intel. No, it's an AMD processor. It's got like really minimum specs. Nothing special or fancy or anything like a SSD or quad core or i7 or anything like that at all. It's older hardware. I think the laptop itself originally had Vista installed on it. But the interesting thing today is that I'm going to be installing it not using a CD or a USB stick. I'm going to be installing it through my network. I'm going to be using Windows deployment services. So I'm remote desktop into my server, and I already have Windows deployment services set up already. If you're not familiar with setting up Windows deployment server, Windows deployment services, then go out there on the interwebs, on Google, type it in, and it's pretty straightforward and easy. It's pretty much a couple clicks. You click on the server manager. You go to roles. I think it's in features. It's either going to be roles or features, and you're gonna. It's a role, and you're going to install it from there. It's pretty much next, yes. So it's not that hard to install. However, if you're a regular home user and you don't have access to this, this is because it only comes with server software, server operating system, such as Windows 2008 Server R2. I'm using the Enterprise edition of that. So I had tried this before. I had a Windows 7 boot image installed on my Windows deployment services. So I would boot the laptop through a Pixie-ready laptop, such as the DV4 here, and I would choose the Windows 7 boot setup environment. So everything works fine. It's going to let you install Windows 8. However, there's going to be a point in time within that installation where it's going to hit you with an error. I got a particular error. I'm not sure if I wrote it down or something. However, if I do find it, I'll post it in the comments. So just keep in mind, if you're going to install Windows 8, you're going to have to download the ISO. Or if you have a CD, that'll work as well. But in my case, I downloaded the ISO, and I'm using Daemon Tools Lite to mount it. So it's pretty straightforward. Download your Windows 8 64-bit or whichever it's or 32-bit, whichever one you want. Download it, mount it onto Daemon Tools, and within your Windows Deployment Services console here, you're going to go to Boot Images. You're going to right-click. You're going to add a boot image, and you're going to browse to where your Windows 8 ISO is mounted. In my case, it's my F drive here, and it's a BD ROM. It's a Blu-ray ROM apparently. So you're going to click on that. You're going to be presented with 4 folders. You're going to see sources. You're going to double-click on sources. You're going to double-click or click once and then click open on Boot.wim. That's Boot.wim, and you're gonna follow these simple steps here. Next, yes. And the final result is this here. You're gonna have a Windows 8 setup boot environment ready to go. With the Windows 8 boot environment, it should work, and that's what I'm going to be testing next. So I'm going to pause the video. I have my HP DV4 ready to go, and so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the HP Pavilion DV4 ready to go. I have the Ethernet cable plugged in, and that's ready to go. I have a gigabit network here, so the installation should go fairly fast. And I have the power cord plugged in. So I'm going to press start here, well, the on button. And for this particular model, it's escape to get into the boot menu. Gonna give it a sec to power on. Okay, pressing escape. Okay, so here's the startup menu. I'm gonna choose F12 for network boot, obviously. Now over here we're gonna get an IP address from my DHCP server. It's going to find the server, bang, I get an IP address, and it presents me to the Windows Boot Manager. So these are pretty much all the boot images that you yourself extract from the Windows installation ISO or CD. I have different ones here because I have ones especially for 32-bit for 32-bit Windows installations. I have one for 64-bit Windows installations. I have a capture image. Pretty much that's used for if you're an IT person who's working for a company or a large business or something like that. You're pretty much going to use this capture image to capture a Windows system that's been sysprepped, and it's pretty much used for mass deployments of Windows. So you capture your sysprepped Windows. That sysprepped Windows might have Office installed or any company-specific applications. So when you do your sysprep, you shut down and you boot into this environment right here. You go to capture, and it captures that image, so it's ready to be pushed out to multiple systems. I have here one that says Lenovo Microsoft Windows Setup x64. Sometimes you're going to come across a particular model laptop where the built-in drivers are different for the network card. So when you get to the Windows network boot environment, which we'll be going to shortly, you're going to be getting an error pretty much stating that, oh, it's like, hey, your NIC or your network card, I don't recognize it. You're probably going to need to download the drivers and install it onto your WDS. And so that's what that is here. So pretty much if I would boot from this Lenovo Microsoft Windows Setup x64 on this system, I would get that message because this is especially for my Lenovo laptop. So here it is. This is the Windows 8 setup. That's the one that I recently extracted. This is the one that we want. It's loading the files. This usually takes a little bit of time. Not that bad though. Not that long. Alrighty, we're almost done there. Oh, look at that. That is the Windows, well, the new Windows logo. And after this, we should be presented with the Windows 8 boot environment. I guess I could call it that. Windows 8 boot environment. And this is all being done through the network here. So setup is starting. Okay, so it says here Windows deployments, Windows deployment services, Windows setup. I'm just going to leave this by default. And here it's prompting me for my domain credentials. So I'll do that. Oops. It wants to make sure that you remember the domain. So here I have Windows Server 2008 image on there. I have Server 8 Beta, Server 2008 R2 Standard. I have Windows 7 Home Basic, Home Premium, Professional, Ultimate, and I have my Windows 8 Enterprise that I extracted onto my Windows deployment services prior to all this. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to go next. I'm going to blow away here whatever installation I had. So I'm going to delete this here. Okay. And I'm going to delete this partition here. Okay. New. Apply. And it's telling me, yes, watch out, you're going to lose all your stuff. That's fine, because we're in testing mode here. Okay, so it's ready to go. It is now exactly 8:40 in the PM, so I'm also going to time this. I'm not gonna make you guys sit around here and watch it as it installs. So it's 8:40 now. I'm gonna pause the video and I will come back. Okay, so I'm back here and the installation is at 98%, and it just turned now 8:50 p.m. So this took 10 minutes from start to 99%, 10 minutes, which is pretty good. Keep in mind though that this is a bare image. There's no extra software on it, obviously. If you're going to be doing a system installation through the network, and your Windows installation has Office and a whole bunch of other programs installed, it's going to be taking more than 10 minutes. But this is pretty good for an installation on an older piece of hardware. It's pretty good. Keep in mind that I am also on a gigabit network, so it's now installing drivers, and that's at 0%. Not sure how long this is going to take, but we'll give it a couple seconds here. Not sure if I'm gonna have to pause the video, because I don't want you guys to be sitting down and just watching and a percentage meter go up. So we're just gonna let it go for a bit. Wow. Okay, so it installed the drivers and that's finished, and we're on the last step here, and that is called finishing up. Let me see if I can make this a bit better for you guys here. And that's restarting, and we could make it restart. Alright, so okay, let's see there. How's that? That's better. Oops. Alright, so we're at 11 minutes now. It's been 11 minutes. We've booted off the network. I took some time in explaining a bit about the Windows boot environment and boot images. It's gone through the installation. I'm going to say it took almost exactly 10 minutes to go through the primary installation phases. And now it's doing something here. Let's see. What is it going to give us? This is my first time actually installing Windows 8 via the network. However, it's not my first time installing Windows 8 in general. I've already installed it probably around, I would say, 7 or 8 times on different pieces of hardware. This is definitely the fastest right now. Well, I've done CD and I've done USB, I believe, as well. So right now it's getting devices ready, and that's already at 62%, 71%. %. Alright, so we're gonna see what's next after this. So it's apparently getting ready, whatever that means. .53 p.m. 8:54 p.m. Sorry. So this from the first point has taken 14 minutes. That's fairly fast. It's pretty fast. And now it's restarting. So I believe now the next step is going to be setting my location and language and all that stuff, and my background and computer name. It's probably going to ask me for my Microsoft account. It's going to be a little different though. I think there's going to be one page where you're only going to see that if you're doing the installation from a network. So we'll check that out as well. It's taking a little while to reboot here. Hard drive light is going crazy. Hello. Well, I don't want to pause the video right now because we could be surprised and you just see the start screen come up or something. It's not finished doing what it was doing because I see the hard drive lights going pretty crazy. And the screen just went black. Blue screen! Blue screen! Just joking. Did it really blue screen? Okay, no, it's still alive. Alrighty. Alright, so we're back here. It is now 8:56 p.m. So it's been 16 minutes. Still not bad. Still very good. I really want to try this with an SSD. I think that would be very interesting to see. And I think I have an SSD right over here. So I think I'm going to be trying it with this on my next video. Okay, here, yeah, this is the screen that you're going to get when you install Windows 8 through the network. I'm guessing because I haven't seen this screen before on any other installation, only installing from the network. So accept, you say yes to Microsoft, always say yes to Microsoft. My favorite color is blue. That's kind of blue purplish, so maybe let's do this one here. Sure. PC name DV4. Let's keep it simple. Next. Yeah, sure. I'll connect to my wireless. Maybe. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Okay, connect. Okay, so I'm gonna type in my credentials here, my top secret credentials. Yeah, we're gonna do the express settings here. My email address. I'm gonna put in my email address because this is not the first time that I've installed or used Windows 8. So by putting in my email address, it's gonna check for my Microsoft account, and when I put in my password, I think I did this right. Nope, I didn't do it right. Just give me a sec. I can't talk and type at the same time. I'm really bad at multitasking. So because I've already used this on actually my PC, and I've downloaded apps, and I have it linked. I have my Microsoft account linked to my Facebook and my Twitter account. I should see all my friends and everything pop up the second Windows 8 starts here. So it's finalizing my settings. Alright. Hi. Oh, this is the, okay, okay, so this is pretty much Microsoft teaching us all how to use the new Windows. I don't think there's a way to skip it because it's probably still setting up things in the background. Move your mouse into any corner. one thing about Windows 8 is that okay, I do see it being a little hard, maybe, if you're a regular user using it on a traditional desktop or a traditional laptop like this. However, I think on a tablet, it looks just really fun to use. So we're getting your PC ready. This will take a few minutes. So I can't wait to get my hands on the Surface or maybe one of Lenovo's Windows 8 devices. There's actually a Dell desktop that was announced today. Actually, today is the day that Windows 8 is the 25th of October, and tonight at midnight, if Windows 8 is actually launching, like officially. It's full blown, and people could buy it. You could go buy the Surface RT, and you could go buy some other Windows 8 devices after tonight. So that's exciting. But yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on something that's a tablet that's running Windows 8. Really curious to see how it is with touch. So, can't wait for that. So apparently it's installing apps. It is 9:01. So we started at 8:40. And it's been 21 minutes. Which is pretty good in my books. This is actually a really nice laptop that's coming out from Acer. Looks really small, really thin. I'm going to try to get the name of it for you. I'm not a fan of Acer, and I've never been a fan of Acer. However, it looks really nice. And it's a small little thing. I believe it's called the Acer. I'm trying to find now. There's a Dell all-in-one. It's called the XPS 127. That's a full-blown. Oh well. Okay, so here it is. It's from start to finish. It took 22 minutes. So I'm going to, where should I click now? I guess we'll go to the desktop pretty fast for older hardware. It already synced up all my Facebook, Twitter stuff, my calendar. I have nothing tomorrow. Did it do my, yeah, it syncs up your mail and everything, so that's really nice. Let me come to the desktop here, and I'm just going to go to Task Manager to see what is inside this thing. More details. Okay, so performance. This is AMD Turion X2 dual core. I don't really. Okay, so I guess it's a dual core. 2.20 gigahertz, and I have 4 gigs of memory here, so it's a fairly decent decent PC laptop, I guess. It's nothing special, obviously. It's a DDR2 RAM, and it's how big of a disk do I have in here? It's a 100 gig disk, and I think it's a 5600 RPM. Sorry, it's a 7200 RPM. So it's a fairly okay laptop. It's nothing compared to today's standards. It's absolutely nothing. And it looks like it's running Windows 7 pretty well. You can even check out, have another video with a similar spec kind of HP. However, I think it's an older model. So that's pretty much it. Took 22 minutes from start to finish, give or take. Installed it using Windows deployment services. This is Windows 8 Pro. 64-bit, and hope you enjoyed that. You could follow me on Twitter if you want. Don't know why you would, but follow me on Twitter. That's at Win8 I record a small tech podcast with my buddy Tim, and we do that. We try to do at least once a week. So if you could listen to that and comment and like us on YouTube, our show is called That Generic Tech Podcast. That would be much appreciated. So hope you enjoyed that. That's Windows 8. Ciao.